Okay, Grandma. Okay, I'll do it right away. All right, just stay right there. Okay, bye.
What happened to your grandma?
I don't know. She called and she said she's in trouble and she's got this bill that she has to pay and some guys are at her house and she doesn't have enough money, so she needs me to go to the bank right now and send her a bunch of money. I don't know what it's about at all.
Wait, are you sure it's your grandma? Does it sound like your grandma?
It kind of sounds, I mean, I don't talk to her that often, but yeah, I mean, it sounded like her and the number seemed right. It was from the right place.
I think you got scammed. I think it's a phone scammer.
Are you serious?
I think so.
Why do you say that?
Because they tell you to get money and then
Yes.
transfer it immediately or something bad's gonna happen.
She needed the money, yeah.
That's all of the scamming stories.
So it wasn't her. Do you think she's been kidnapped?
I think you should call your grandma.
Oh, okay. And see if she's really there and see if she's really having trouble.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea. I'll do that. And you know what? Now I think about it, something else was weird about this phone call.
What was it?
My grandmother died 20 years ago. So maybe it wasn't her.
How could you possibly have forgotten?
Well, she sounded like she needed help and she called me honey. My grandma used to call me honey when she was alive.
Okay, I'm glad that you thought of that.
I remembered that.
That would have been...
But you're right, I should be more careful with what I believe when someone just calls me on my phone.
Yeah, anytime people ask for money,
right?
Immediately, or any sort of bank account number, your password,
right?
Yeah.
Don't give it to them.
There are a lot of scammers here.
And will they text you and use email?
Yeah, they have this special like program. They'll call you from the actual number.
Really?
The number of the bank.
Oh, really? From the bank's number? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
I got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
About using the phone. All right, well, let's check out today's dialogue. Danny is calling his dentist's office.
Dr. Crown's office, this is Amy. How may I help you?
Hi, Amy. I'm Danny, and I'd like to make an appointment with Dr. Crown.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
We didn't introduce ourselves before. Thank you, Rainbow, for your good advice.
Saved you from the scammer.
You saved me from being the victim of a phone scam. That's right, because the telephone can be a place where we can run into trouble. And also, I think these days a lot of people just don't use the telephone very much.
I don't really make calls.
Exactly. So you might call someone or they might call you, and how you speak, what you say, how to have a polite conversation, how to get information, and how to protect yourself from possible crime. These are all things that people don't really do as much today. So we have a 3-day article with a great bunch of little dialogues all about telephone English. So let's learn some telephone English for all sorts of different normal day-to-day situations. Part A that we'll be doing right now is all about calling for an appointment. Sure, the telephone is still very useful, right? When you're calling a business, a dentist, calling maybe a restaurant for a reservation, calling somewhere like that, a hotel, because you want to get an appointment or you want to make a plan to visit in the future. So let's see what's going on. Someone apparently has problems with their teeth, so they're going to see the dentist. Who? Danny. It says Danny is calling his dentist's office. All right, so yeah, he wants to make a dentist appointment. And what is an appointment? An appointment is when you agree to meet someone. It could be an appointment to meet your friends for lunch or coffee, or it could be something a little more formal like an appointment to visit a dentist, visit a doctor, go to a meeting, something like that. But it's planned in advance so that everyone knows what day and what time to meet for this appointment.
Yep, and what is the dentist? The dentist is the person you go to who will fix your teeth. So maybe you have that, you know, what is it, every half a year you go get a teeth cleaning.
Right, good, yeah.
And, or maybe you have a cavity and the dentist has to go in and, or you have to take out your wisdom teeth.
Actually, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad
not that
because,
bad.
yeah, exactly. It's not that bad. In Taiwan, it's pretty good. They're good dentists
very
here.
Good dentists
so
here.
the dentist is the doctor for your teeth.
Yes.
So that is who Danny is going to be calling. And we have someone called Amy who's going to be talking to Danny. So I'll get started. Amy says, Dr. Crown's office, this is Amy. How may I help you? Okay, so you called me.
That's
and
right.
I picked up the phone.
Danny called Amy, and of course, Amy works there at the dentist's office. She answered in a very professional way where she is, who she is, and what can she do, or how may I help you? And Danny answers, hi, Amy. That's very polite.
Yeah.
He used her name. He says, I'm Danny, and I'd like to make an appointment with Dr. Crown.
Ooh,
okay, interesting.
right.
So he used his first name. You could do that, especially if you've been to the dentist there before. You might also use your full name or call yourself Mr. or Miss or something like that. That would be very polite. And then, of course, he says why he called. He wants to make an appointment to visit this wonderful dentist, Dr. Crown. Okay, I guess Dr. Crown is the man to see if you have problems with your teeth. I'm sure Danny hopes that Dr. Crown can help him. And we'll find out all about what's going to happen after our quick little break.
Sure. He has an opening at 2 o'clock this Friday.
Is there anything earlier? I have a toothache and it's really painful.
Hold on a minute. Let me check with Dr. Crown.
No problem.
Hi, Danny. Thanks for waiting. Dr. Crown says he can see you at noon today.
That's great. I appreciate your help, Amy. Thank you.
All right, so Amy says sure to the request to see Dr. Crown. He has an opening at 2 o'clock this Friday. So an opening, that's the time when you can come. So that would be 2 o'clock.
That's right, an opening. He has free time, you might also say. And this is a good time for Danny to have his appointment.
Yeah, exactly.
Danny, right? He has his appointment, so that's great. He'll be able to get his tooth fixed or have whatever problem he has, have the doctor look at it. But as we get back to our dialogue, it looks like, Friday, that's not really good for Danny, and he has a very good reason why he wants to see the doctor much sooner, much earlier than Friday. He says, is there anything earlier? So he's asking for an earlier time.
Emergency.
Something, you know, definitely an emergency. A day before, a few days before. He wants to go earlier, not on Friday, sometime before that. And he says, why? I have a toothache. Ow! And it's really painful. So maybe he has a cavity, one of those holes in his teeth. We're not sure. But we do know that it hurts a lot. A toothache, a headache, a stomach ache. You're basically saying, I have pain in this part of my body and it's really uncomfortable. Or as he says, it's really painful. And anyone who's had a toothache, right, you know that if you have some hot drinks or cold food or when you brush your teeth, there are many times, it hurts. And when something hurts, you can say that it is painful. You don't say I am painful, you say it, this part of your body. My arm is painful, my tooth is painful. It hurts a lot.
Opening. An opening is the slot or the time when you can come to the dentist's office or to any appointment. This is usually for an appointment, you would have an opening. It's a window of time. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 30 minutes. These are the different times you can come in. We call those an opening, and that would be a noun.
That's right. And also that word painful, yes. If you're full of pain or if something hurts a lot, you say it is painful. You would say I have pain or I'm feeling pain.
Or I'm in pain.
I'm in pain, right? But the place, the part of your body, that is painful. All right, let's move on with our dialogue and see what the secretary, Amy, there has to say.
Hold on a minute. Let me check with Dr. Crown. So Amy has to check to see Dr. Crown's schedule to see if there's anything before it's Friday.
Okay, so she's trying to help Danny out by finding him an earlier time. So, of course, Danny has no problem with that. He will wait. He says, no problem. When you have no problem, you're like, I don't worry. I'm not upset. Go ahead. Do what you need to do. I'm fine. So we can imagine maybe a few seconds go by, 30 seconds, a minute, while Amy checks on the schedule on Dr. Crown's appointment list, and then she comes back on the phone.
Hi, Danny. Thanks for waiting. Dr. Crown says he can see you at noon today.
Noon
wow,
today?
That's really fast.
That's fantastic.
Super soon.
That's right. It might be Monday or Tuesday. He was thinking he'd have to wait till Friday, but if he can come in at noon, at 12 o'clock or kind of lunchtime today, that's great. So Danny says, that's great, because that's great. It's really good news. In other words, it's probably more like, oh, that's great.
That's great.
Oh, it's really great, because he's got a toothache. But of course, he's happy because he's thinking the sooner I can see the doctor, the sooner he can take care of my pain and I'll feel better. So of course, he's in a good mood to hear this. That's great. He says, I appreciate your help, Amy. That's a nice thing to say. Basically, he's saying, I know you worked a little harder. You could have just told me to come Friday, but you found an earlier time. You did this extra thing just to help me. So I appreciate your help. Thank you, is what he says to her.
And great. That means something is wonderful, something's very good, something's fantastic. So when we say that's great, it just means, wow, that is very good news. Thank you for letting me know. So say, that's great. It's a moment of joy and happiness.
Exactly.
Say, that's great.
There you go. That's great. And then we also had that other new word there, and the word was, I believe, appreciate. To appreciate something is to know it's valuable, to sort of say it's valuable, to show the person that you understand that this is a good, important, helpful, nice thing that they did. So when you appreciate things, it's basically like saying, I thank you for this, and I also am aware, I know that this wasn't easy, or you didn't have to give me this. You appreciate your friends when they help you. You appreciate your parents.
And your doctor,
You appreciate your doctor. You can appreciate other things. You appreciate having good health.
Yes.
You appreciate living in a safe country.
Yes.
You know that these things are valuable. Not everyone gets them, and you're thankful for the good luck and the life that you have. So there you go. I think we all appreciate dentists, especially when we have a toothache. Then we really appreciate them.
Yeah,
all right, guys, that's all the
definitely.
time we have for today, right? But
Yeah.
tomorrow we'll have more telephone talk, so please come back and join us for that. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Danny is calling his dentist's office.
Dr. Crown's office, this is Amy. How may I help you?
Hi, Amy. I'm Danny, and I'd like to make an appointment with Dr. Crown.
Sure. He has an opening at 2 o'clock this Friday.
Is there anything earlier? I have a toothache, and it's really painful.
Hold on a minute. Let me check with Dr. Crown.
No problem.
Hi, Danny. Thanks for waiting. Dr. Crown says he can see you at noon today.
That's great. I appreciate your help, Amy. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下这一课的重点单字。第一个 dentist， 名词牙医。My dentist is very patient with me. 我的牙医对我很有耐心。下一个单字 toothache， 它是一个名词，表示牙痛。He saw a dentist yesterday because he had a toothache. 因为牙痛，他昨天去看了牙医。Ache 就是名词，疼痛。所以你的身体部位加上 ache 表示那个部位疼痛。所以头痛你可以怎么说呢？ headache。胃痛你可以说 stomachache。 那背痛呢 ？backache。下一个单字 painful 是一个形容词，表示疼痛的。My back is so painful that I can't even stand upright. 我的背太痛了，我甚至站不直了。Upright 就是一个形容词或者是副词，表示笔直的、挺直的。下一个单字 great 是一个形容词，表示好极了、很棒的。We had a great time at the party last night. 昨晚派对上，我们玩得非常开心。接着我们来看到这一课的重点文法。第一个 How may I help you? 有什么我可以为您服务的吗？这个句子是礼貌性的询问对方需要的协助。以下是一个对话 Hi, how may I help you? I'd like to book a single room for tonight. Hi, 有什么可以为你服务的吗？我想要订一间单人房，今晚入住。下一个 Make an appointment. 预约、看诊或者是会面。Appointment 是名词，表示预约或者是会面。My mother is sick. I need to make an appointment with the doctor for her. 我妈妈生病了，我需要帮她预约医生门诊。下一个 A checks with B. A 向 B 确认，它的后面可以接 about， 然后来接你要确认的事物。I checked with Nina about her home address. 我向 Nina 确认了她家的地址。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
In the basement of the Tropical Rainforest Conservatory, you can find a visitor center, a souvenir shop, and 2 aquariums. You can see some of the Amazon River's special fish in the aquariums. There are fish feeding shows at 3:30 p.m. every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Before each performance begins, the museum staff will introduce the Amazon River. It's amazing to see how the arapaima quickly jumps out of the water and eats small fish. Just remember not to take photos with a flash or tap the tank.
See you next time!